Hello everybody, welcome to a new video from me, SoulSave. This is a reading with messages from the ancestors. So this can be ancestors that you know, and this can be ancestors that you don't know at all, far back in the family line. So we have, of course, as long as humankind has existed, and of course far beyond that, we have ancestors far back in the line. So of course there are many things that we don't know about. And we can of course go back in from the starting of when we humans were registered, but yeah, me for example, you can call in your ancestors and tell them to reveal themselves for you when you are in a meditative state of mind. I did that once, and one of my ancestors was an Aboriginer. I have no idea if I have any ancestors from the Australian country. But obviously I have relationship from an Aboriginer. So it was very it was a little bit shocking for me, but yeah, do that yourself and you will see who will come forward. Now, let's look at the oracle cards. What is the messages from your ancestors? Okay, once again, we have notice the pattern. And we have number 41. Maybe 41 is your age, but 4 and 1 equals 5. And 5 is all about change. So there is something, and this is very interesting, that you have the DNA spiral coming down from above and down towards your crown chakra. And I've talked about this crown chakra in my healing session that I have each Sunday. Please join me on my live stream most Sundays when I do my Reiki healing sessions. And you know that when we are born, we have a hole in our brain. We have a hole in our skull. Our skull is open and is soft, and that is of course for the head to be pushed out the birth canal. If this skull was hard, it would be very difficult for us to push us through the birth canal. It would be extremely painful, both for us and for our mothers. So yeah, this skull, this grows in total the first year of the child's life, the first year of our lives. So maybe all the downloads that we need happen the first year of our lives. But even if so, I've also talked about we have 2 or 3 points above this crown chakra. That is like a radio antenna, and we get the energy through these portals and connecting with the crown chakra. Yeah. So maybe there is something you should notice about the pattern in your ancestors' life, and that means if you can look at for especially for relationship, maybe how was the relationship between your mother and your father, or if you have grown up in a gay relationship, how was your mother and mother, how was your father and father, take it as it resonates within your own life. How was the relationship between your grandparents, and how was the, if you can recall, how was the relationship between your grandfather and great grandfather and great grandmother? Maybe you will see something about the pattern there. I know that relationship on both sides of my family line was not very good. The marriages were not based from a loving point of view. It was more from a convenient point of view. And maybe that is the pattern that I'm supposed to break. So yeah. Okay, let's look further on. We have leadership. It's time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others. Yeah. When you notice the pattern, maybe this is something that you should, if you have children yourself, maybe this is something that you should talk to your own children, especially with the pattern within relationship. You know, don't stay married just because of the convenience. Or maybe there is other things, like, you know, a lot of families suffers from a lot of anxiety or other mental health issues. Maybe there is a pattern here that you should focus on, and maybe the lesson here is to seek out for help before it's too late. Okay, the last one. Prioritize. Yes, focus on your highest priorities. I will help you get organized and motivated. Archangel Metatron. So what is your main focus? What is most important for you? Is the most important thing for you to keep the family together and just shuffle the problems underneath the rug and overlook all the challenges that is within your family? Or is your priority now to organize and get a clear view of what is the main issue here? Okay. Whew, that was a tough one. And of course, release a lot of guilt and shame. This is the Eight of Swords. Now, I can talk about this from my point of view, from from my family line. There has been a lot of guilt tripping and shaming for being focused on yourself. That is a high problem within my, especially on my mother's side. If you have been focusing on yourself and prioritizing your own needs, you have been called selfish and lazy. Maybe that is something for you too, or maybe there is another type of guilt that you have been told throughout your life. Yeah, but it's not selfish to prioritize your own needs. Yeah, as I said many times, you have to fill your own cup before you can fill others, and that is, especially on my mother's side, that has always been a problem. My mother especially, she keeps on giving and giving and helping others, and neglecting her own needs and her own health. So yeah, because she has always been told that thinking about herself is a selfish thing to do, and you always have to prioritize others before your own need, and that is that is so wrong. You know, I have taken the example of when you are in an airplane and you are being told the safety routines. You know, we are always told that we should put when the oxygen mask fell down. We are always told to put on our mask first before we help any others. And that is, of course, if we are shipwrecked, put on your life jacket on yourself first before you start helping others. It doesn't. If you're sacrificing your own life to help others, what is the point of that? What is the point of that? So prioritize yourself. Don't listen to the negative energies that have been in your ancestral line. They are telling you that this has been a problem within your family line for too long, and it's time to tune in and focus. Prioritize yourself now. You are breaking the chain of being selfish. Okay, so we start with 4 of Wands with participation. We have the Ace of Swords with consciousness, beautiful. When you are noticing the pattern, you will be consciously clear. You know, you have the clear cognizance when you see the repeating thoughts and the repeating patterns, and you know, and you notice now how this has been a significant problem within your ancestral line, as far as you can recall, of course. And the last one was the Ace of Cups with going with the flow. Beautiful. So take the leadership with participation here. It's time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others. So this is with participation. When you recognize the pattern, right? You are able now to guide others, so they also can notice the patterns, the ancestral pattern that maybe has led to guilt and shame. You know, as I said, being told that you are selfish and lazy because you have been prioritizing yourself and your own needs before the need of others. And when you are being repeatedly told these things, of course you will at the end believe that what you are doing is wrong. But that is of course draining your energy. So go with the flow now. Be in tune with turning in. Be in tune with the energy surrounding in your life, you know, and prioritize. What is your need? What is your highest priorities? If your highest priority right here, right now, is maybe focusing on your health and your health issue and getting better, that is the priority number one. Okay, I wish you all the best for the future ahead. Thank you so much for watching this beautiful message from your ancestors. Bye for now.